Hello, I'm back. Okay, thank you for coming again, and I hope you've been having fun as much as I did. Uh, all right, so I do have the slides as always. So here we go. And how do I start? Come on. There we go. Okay, so this is me. My name is Yoriko Oki. Um, I like to give you my shop link. Oh, hold on. It just happened to be, it's not happened to be, that's how I plan, I have to say. I am having anniversary sale right now. So just give you the link. Just give me a second. Go. So I just put the link in the chat and that would bring you to directly to my shop area of the website. Okay. Um, if you don't know, my Instagram account is yoriko.oki. It's spelled Yoriko dot O-K-I. And I'm usually most active on Instagram. So if you like to check out what I'm doing, that's where you can find me. Okay, so this is anniversary sale. Believe it or not, this is my 10th anniversary as online business. I've been actually selling my yarn since 2005. And that's when I joined the Fibre Art Studio on Granville Island. So thank you, Mimi. 10 years is big deal, right? If I guess I could say so myself. And when I opened the business online, I opened an Etsy shop with one listing of the yarn. And that yarn was sold in a week or so. And I was astonished because I didn't think I'd get any sale right away like that. But Etsy was actually a better place for makers back then. Like right now, it's just so many things that's not handmade anymore. So that's kind of disappointing. I should have Etsy shop though. But if you find me here, please go to my website because if you buy through Etsy, they charge about 10% goes to Etsy. So anyways, but I still remember the excitement of getting first sale. And if you're Etsy seller, when you make sale, your phone makes this cha-ching kind of sound as a notification. And then I think I was holding my phone looking at something else and I almost dropped my phone. And at that point, I didn't know what it was. Like, well, what happened? What was it? And that was my first sale. And that first sale actually went to not New Zealand, Australia. I still remember that. And since then, a lot of things happened. Um, Gosh, it's 10 years. And a few years ago, I actually opened my own website. Um, so I'm kind of trying to leave Etsy, but I'm still there. And this, my business coach says there's such a thing called a hot dog stand theory or hot dog stand principle. Okay, if you go to beach, there's a hot dog stand, right? That hot dog stand actually does better if there's a hamburger stand next to it. Because when people look at just hot dog stand, they say, oh, it's just hot dog. Mm, yeah, I don't feel like hot dog. But if there's hamburger stand and maybe something else, maybe ice cream stand, people may think, oh yeah, just let's go and see what they have. So for me, that's what the Etsy is. I don't know if it makes sense. Like if you go to Etsy, there are a lot of options. You can just browse through and just like for fun. And hopefully somebody who like the yarns like I dye and may find me. So that's why I'm sure on Etsy. So anyways, anniversary sale is on my website right now. 20% off until the end of February. And I will start sale on Etsy as well next weekend. Oh, no, sorry, not next weekend, on Wednesday. But that will be only 10% off because Etsy takes 10% as well. Okay, so if you have to go to Etsy, you can do that too. And okay, so I just want to follow up what we talked about at the last Fibre Lava Fair. Okay, so I was just starting the Hanakago show knit along. You may remember Mari Tobita of this designer of this design came to talk to us very briefly. Okay, so we are so excited. Probably about dozen of people participated, and at least we saw about 10 shows finished during the duration of the knit along. And if you have started, haven't finished it, please do finish it because it's such a lovely design. So there are some of the shows finished and posted on Instagram. I just like to browse through them. Okay, how beautiful is that? I don't know if Nancy is here today. She's usually come to my show, but yeah, I believe this is Nancy White. Look, and this is all for one skein of finger weight yarn. I was amazed how generous that size is because usually one skein um shawl is more like a small scarf, but this is really nice size as well. And look how they look different depending on the yarn people used. Oh, I like the dark color too. It's so gorgeous. And look at this pink one. That's so sweet. Monica, yes, that's yours. This is like on the right side, that's Monica finished. And she says, it's complete, but it's wrong. I think she made mistake. You know, Monica, it doesn't matter. Thank you so much for knitting with us. Like you really made us happy. Thank you. And then this is what I made. You see how generous the size is? You could actually hold it on your neck and you can still have the tail in the front like that. It's so cute. So of the design. So it is called Hana Cargo Shawl. I put the name on the chart. So if you like to Okay. So if you like to knit this one, check it out on Ravelry. So that was a recap from our last knit along. Okay, let's go back to the slide. Okay, next. So at the last show, I introduced this Rose Garden Gradient set on my website. Okay. And then I told you, like, I have a mini skein set as well. I should have them too. And then I told you that since I have this Seigai hat shawl kit with blue gradient or navy gradient, I thought I could make a kit with this burgundy color as well. So I did promise you I put this on my website next time. And I have it now. So sorry, the color looked a bit washed out on this slide, but it has this nice deep burgundy to a little paler rose pink, like a little bit dusty pink with white skin with a little bit of the burgundy speckle as well. So if you like to, how do I change this? Okay, so if you like to see that, this is my website. And this is the shop area. And if you go to kits, you get this page. And the kit just I show you is here, right here. And then I have two options. And you choose the option here. So one is the blue ocean set. That's a navy to blue gradient. And if you choose rose garden set, you get the rose color gradient set as well. So please check it out if you like. All right. Next. So that's something I promised last time, and it's there on my website. All right. And the next one is Yoriko neck warmer. Okay, that one is designed by Caroline Normando. She's a French Canadian, and I show you her face. That's Caroline. We met at the Knit City Calgary 2 years ago. Okay, she was a customer, and she came when it was a little quieter. And she says, like, I'm from close, I live close to Montreal. She introduced herself to me, and I design, and I love knitting. We started chatting. And then I knew I was going to Montreal for Knit City Montreal, and I asked her, "Do you possibly want to work for me at the Montreal show?" And she did like big gasp, like, "Are you serious?" I'm so excited. She didn't even say yes at first. Like, I'm so excited. So she came to help me at the Knit City Montreal. And then because she says she's a designer, I also asked like, would you like to design something for me and we can launch at the Knit City Montreal? And she said, yes. So that's how this happened. She designed this beautiful cowl. It's fun to knit as well. Lots of textures. It's easy, right? It's not complicated, but it looks very sweet and sophisticated. You know, the French Canadians have very like distinctive sense of design, and she definitely has it. Okay, so I have this kit available on my website, and right now I have these two colors. Okay, first one is this blue combo, like navy and blue, gray blue. And the next one is this purple or mauve and the silver gray. It may look like white on your screen, but it's a really pale gray. And it is, again, available, same kit section. Okay, so this is my kit section. If you scroll down a little bit, it's right here. Okay, again, why it's not showing the whole thing? Anyway, you choose option either navy and blue gray or mauve and silver gray. Okay, I have a two each available at the moment, and you can get them from here. Right. So that's the second thing I promised you last time. And yes, I did it. It's on my website. Okay. Also, and there is this rainbow yoke sweater, which I'm wearing right now. Okay, so I finally made it. I wanted to knit this sweater for many years. And since I started teaching the color class, I talked about this combining mohair and other yarn to create the colors you want in my classes. And I always kind of wanted knit like this. Just rainbow is the mohair yarn. Okay. Your base yarn is like throughout the sweater, it's gray. Like it looks a little lighter in this picture. It's like a medium gray. And so you don't have to have, a lot of different colors with the base yarn and the kit mohair. Like if you have like scrap of yarn like this, you just want to use up. You can mix with just one base color and get good variation. And when you do that, it's actually better because all the colors blend better with the base color. So they kind of get closer in look. So I made the kit, and this is the sweater. Sorry, it looks a little big on me because I lost weight last year. So it's a little too big size. You see, like there's a bit of please happening here, but that's okay. So there's no sleeve. It's more like a cap sleeve vest. And then the length goes up to not quite my hip, between my waist and hip. What you get with this kit is, ooh, Um, you have these 6 mini skeins of keep mohair yarn. Okay, keep mohair and silk. Oh, the mini skeins are won by Marianne in the audience. Thank you, Marianne. I don't know what to do without her. And then you get 2 skeins of sock yarn. Well, it's more like multi-purpose sock yarn as a base. And also one full skein, 50-gram skein of this medium gray mohair yarn. And that should be enough to make quite a wide range of sizes. If you are really in a like largest size range, you may run out of yarn, but I'm not sure. I haven't had that tested yet. But if you run out, please let me know. I will try to somehow accommodate you. Anyway, so if you are interested in something like this, that's available on my website. If you just want to do this on your own without buying my kit, so this is what I did. This sweater is based on Love Note sweater. You know, everybody knows Love Note sweater, right? You probably have knitted one or two. Some people knitted like three, four, five. And but I didn't do the lace. Like the Love Note sweater has lace design on the yoke. I didn't do that. And then what I did was I figured out that how many rows from the cast on is here, cast on to the underarm, when you separate the bodice and the sleeves. And I divided that number by 6 because I have 6 colors. Then I knitted that number of rows with each color. And if I know that number doesn't always come even, right? So you may have like, say, you can do 5 rows of 4 colors, but then maybe 6 rows of 2 colors. if that happens, use that larger number of rows at the beginning, at the red and orange. Because those areas at the beginning, you have less number of stitches, so you use less amount of yarn, right? But when you go to the purple, you probably get close to use up the purple. So to save the purple yarn, I'll probably use a larger number of rows at the beginning. But if you buy the kit, it comes with the instruction written as well. So if you like this one, you have to give me about a week to ship because I had this gray sock yarn as a body, like as a base yarn, but somebody bought all of them on Friday because I started having sale and they're all gone. So I have to dye the gray yarn, but it's not hard. And I have all the mohair yarn ready. So I can ship it by Friday if you order it. Okay. Thank you for waiting if you order. All right. So that's my rainbow yoke sweater. And I'm so glad I finished this because it was like really on my someday I will need this. And but like last spring, I taught this optical blending with mohair class. That's where I show people, my students, how you can mix colors with mohair and base yarn and get a whole range of colors. And I again like told them like this is kind of ideas like the sweater with rainbow color yoke, just like changing the mohair color and using the same base color. And that should like hold everything together. And then after the class, I thought, what am I waiting for? Let's just make it. So that's when I cast on. And that was May or something. And then of course, like I had to lose weight for the health reason last summer. So that was just coincided with that period too. So like by the time I finished the sweater, my size was like 2 sizes down. I may want to make another one so that I can really wear it and without making excuses. Anyways, that's available on my website. All right. So for the rest of my presentation, instead of just selling my yarns, like, showing, I have this, buy this, I have this, you buy this. I probably thought like, maybe I just show everybody something I don't really talk about much, publicly. So that's about machine knitting. And please don't be judgmental. A lot of people think, oh, you're machine knitting, you're lazy, or you're cheating. That's not the case. People think machine knitting is fast. You have to think again. There's a lot of things happen and like there's a really steep learning curve, I have to say. But anyways, I made a pretty good progress last year. So I thought like I just put them into one place and show people because I never really have a chance to talk about it. So the history of my machine knitting history, the story of my machine knitting history. I bought my first knitting machine in 1992 when I was still living in Japan. I was feeling like I'm stuck. I was working as a architect, but I hit my glass ceiling very, very quickly. So I was like in my 6 years in the office. Um, all my colleagues who joined the office in the same year, the two guys there, they're getting all the work responsibility. They go to the construction site to supervise. They're getting all those fun, but all I got to do is making like feasible studies at the office, which is important job. Don't get me wrong, because the feasible study will bring them work, right? Without feasible study, we don't get any work. So we have to make some kind of proposal. But like architects are makers as well. Like we like to make things. I never really got actually make something. So yeah. And also back then, it's still so though. Japan is a very chauvinistic country, especially compared to North America. It is still so. So I felt like I want to get out of country. I applied many universities in North America. I tried 2 years, nothing happened. And I was maybe it will never happen. Maybe I never happen. I don't know. And then, thank you, Diana. And, and then I bought knitting machine. Like maybe I try something else. And then of course I got accepted to University of British Columbia. So I moved across the Pacific Ocean and my knitting machine stayed at home at my mom's house in my bedroom. And it stayed there for over how many years? Almost 20 years. But like one day I thought like, okay, so like 20 years, I settled down in Canada. Um, I got more comfortable in a way. And I go and visit my mother every New Year. And I was looking at it one year, I think, maybe I should bring this to Canada, see what I can do. Yeah, maybe I can learn to do it now. So I did bring that plastic bed machine to Canada, and I even acquired new to me metal bed machines as well, not the plural knitting machines, new to me knitting machines. Um, Knitting machines are like looms. And if you're a weaver, you know what I mean. They tend to multiply itself for some reason. They must be making babies in the closet. Those nasty machines, right? So, then I, so if you have a plastic bed machine, well, I talk about that a little later. So anyways, I did bring back, I took some classes online. I made a little bit progress. I got good enough to make some sock blanks for dyeing yarn. And I had fun dyeing sock blanks for a while. And then my husband got really, really sick. And it was like he almost died. Oh, and he had like overnight surgery one night. And that really put my life upside down. Like knitting machine, forget it. I just had to drop everything to take care of him. That lasted about 2 years. Um, he's he's still with us, by the way. Um, he gradually improved, but he's not really back to normal, and I don't think he would be. It's okay. He's still sleeping. He watched the hockey game and went back to sleep. He's not listening. Um, I had to drop the machine knitting again. And then a couple of years ago, I started feeling comfortable with my life again. I thought like I was looking at these knitting machines, and then I thought, should I just sell them or should I try it again? And I thought, let's give it one more try. Sometimes third time is the charm, right? So that was my third try. And then I found this wonderful community called Machine Knit Community. And I'm not getting paid for this. I'm talking about them because I truly appreciate what they do. Machine Knit Community is a kind of like online guild. It is founded by this lady, Nick Corrigan. She's located in UK and she's a machine knitter. She used to teach at the university. And her husband is a tech guy, so that's a really good pair because she kind of takes care of the contents and he takes care of the technical side. And everybody bugging her husband, like, you should learn to machine knit too. And then often if somebody says, but somebody has to take care of the tech side. And it was, yeah, that's true. So anyway, so Nick Corrigan started this wonderful community and being community, it's not just her teaching. She brings like lots of different, guests to teach for us or, just like, give a speech about their own life as makers. And it's very inspiring and there's always something happening. Um, Yeah, sometimes it could be a knit along. It could be, I don't know, you name it. And they have some kind of lecture almost every week. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. But I joined the community, but what I felt was I was lacking the basics. So I joined the community in 2023. And I try to knit some of their projects. It was a bit too advanced for me. I was really like below beginner level at that point. I could knit the rectangle or sock blank, and that's all I could do back then. So the next year, 2024, I continue to be a member of the community because it's very inspiring. And like, even like I didn't understand all of it, I felt like, I'm kind of, expanding my knowledge and it was great. But 2024 was spent just more like learning the basics of machine knitting, building good foundation. And then 2025, last year, they have this fabulous event of 12 months of hats knit along. So the idea was they invited all the designers and release a new knitting design, hat knitting design, like machine knitting every month. So every month we had at least this 1 week. The designer came in and then talk about the design and they just show us some of the tips to knit that hat. So this series of knit along really, really advanced my skill as a machine knitter. Some of them are really challenging. And like some of them are like even the experienced machine knitters just crying, like, it's not working. I'm just dropping stitches. Blah, blah. By the way, the dropping stitch is a horror story in machine knitting. Like hand knitting, you knit whole day, at least you have something to show there, right? Machine knitting, you could knit whole day, and then at the last row, you make mistake. And if you don't put the yarn in your feeder correctly, your whole knitting could just drop to the floor. And you could pick up the stitches, but sometimes, like if you have complicated stitch patterns, like the stitch patterns just Nancy just show us, something like that. It's actually just easier, just go back and start from scratch. So you could be knitting whole day and you could lose everything. So that's a horror story. Anyway, so this is most of the things I show you today is a hat project I made last year. So the first one, it's not showing everything, is it? Oh, hang on, no. I have too many windows open. Okay, so the first one was Vespa Nightcap by Terry Martin. And this one was a January hat. So Terry was something in mind, like, having festive season of like, she said this was her New Year Eve party hat. She started on December 31st and she finished by the evening. Amazing. And it's very straightforward. The only new thing or like, and only tricky part is those beading. Because machine knitting, you cannot put the beads on the strand of yarn first. Okay, you cannot do that with machine knitting. What you could do is you pick up the stitch from the needle and put the bead on it. So like your yarn will be doubled and then the top of stitch is peeking out from the bead and then put that back onto the needle. So it's a little tedious, but I have fun. And once you get used to it, um, that was not bad. It was fun. The only drawback is the bead is pretty heavy. And this one doesn't quite fit on my head. I mean, like stay on my head because of the weight. And all the beads are acrylic beads, so it's not like grass bead type of heavy, but there are over 100, I think close to 200 beads on this hat. So if I'm doing this again, maybe I just limit the beads placement, maybe just around the bottom of the hat, or I have to think something. Anyway, this is the designer Terry Martin. She's located in Ohio. If you're interested, she teaches classes. And if you following Patty Lyon on Instagram, she was with Patty a couple months ago, I think. She was teaching Patty how to do machine knitting. So you may have seen her face. Very talented designer as well. So this is how the hat looks like. You may be able to see I'm kind of almost laughing because the hat was just sliding back and it's like, okay, I have to just take the picture. Just stay there. And I got this picture. So this yarn is Winter Sky on Superwash Merino worsted weight. And Pompon is from Yarn Bola. If you like Pompon, please do Google her. It's run by Janet, and she's located in North Vancouver. And she actually makes those pompons herself. It's not like it's bought from China or India. It's actually locally made in Canada. So, and she has this really fabulous range of pompon. If you can look at this, the color is just perfect for this colorway I had for this hat. So like I often see her at shows and like I need something like a dusty blue kind of thing. And she showed me a couple of things and then when I saw this one, like this is it. I got it. So I was very, very happy to find this. So that's the first I knit. And then next one. This is Hattie, designed by Kat Payne. Kat is located in New Zealand. He's a very, very interesting guy. He's a spinner. Of course, like New Zealand, pretty much everybody spins. That's probably not true, but he spins. He weaves, he machine knits, he's done the production sock knitting for like brand names. He teaches. It's just like very interesting guy. I closely follow him on Instagram. So this is in a way, very basic hat, but I'm glad they had this hat at the beginning because it taught me so many things. Okay, so the yarn is my hand dyed yarn. Uh, the, uh, the top is Ocean View and theme is Indigo Constellation on Superwash Maynard Usted. So this is card. It looks just interesting, right? And then, so this is one of the things that's hard in machine knitting and much, much easier with hand knitting. Okay. In machine knitting, decreasing stitches across the row, like evenly, or in a round is very hard. Because, okay, this one I'm knitting one by one rib, so the ones on the top bed knits the knit stitch, and the ones on this front bed, that's called rebar, that knits the purl stitch. So here, I just moved these two stitches to this one to decrease two stitches. But I don't know if you could tell, like, there's so much stretch here. So these stitches are just so prone to drop off the needle and got to be really, really careful. And then when there is a gap like this, you have to move all these stitches sideways to fill that gap. So if you have, say, 8 stitch decrease in one round, you can actually do the round with knitting machine. We usually knit flat. That's a lot easier. You have to move all the stitches to fill in those 8 gaps in the bed. So that's a lot of work. So if you have seen the machine knit hat before, most people do is they just knit to the top and they just gather it. So there are a lot of bunch at the top. That's because they don't want to spend time to move around those stitches to fill the gaps. But this hat, it's called hattie, and there'll be chatty at the end of the slide. Really taught me, if you could see it, there's like fashion decrease. Like we have 2 stitches just making the ridges. Sorry, I saw this hat, so I couldn't take any more pictures. So it has a like, looks like hand knit hat decrease. But I got to practice. It took a lot of time first, but I made the second one and I saw that one too. Second one was a lot faster, so practice makes it, and that made me happy. So okay, so that's the hattie. And then this is interesting construction. I'm sure people just hand knit can try something like this too. Most of these designs are available on Ravelry too. Just in case you don't know, there are machine knitting patterns available on Ravelry too. So this is called Lace Dulcie Hat, or sometimes we just call it Dulcie Hat, designed by Emily Williams. Okay, so the yarn is my yarn on Mighty Elf Sock yarn. The green is called Perky Green, though I never had this online. I should, huh? Okay, Perky Green and Indigo Constellation. That's a navy one. Okay, so that's Emily. And what's interesting about this hat is, you see there's 2 layers. The top layer or outer layer is lace, and the other color is peeking through that lace. And that's not the only interesting part. Okay, this is a diagram for the hat. It's just rectangle. Okay, you just knit the rib first, and then you knit the lace, and then you knit the lining, which is the green one for me. Okay, so I knit the the blue one up to here, this fold line, right? And then when you finish, and as I said, like it's a lot easier, or like you can do a lot more things when you're knitting flat on the knitting machine. So this is how it's knit. So when it's done, we take both ends into knitting needles. We stitch, mattress stitch one side, make a tube. You fold like so. And then you twist one layer 180 degree and then graft one end to the other. Okay. And what happens is the twisted fabric make pleats like this in the back and close the top. This is something you have to do to understand what's going on. And like, I was kind of skeptic. I was like, really? Or like, I was amazed. And so technically, this is open. If you take this off the mannequin, yeah, knitting origami Mimi, really. Yeah. Um, so like if you want a messy bun hat, this is perfect because there's a hole in there too. And Rose usually calls it like hot head hat, I think, because there's a ventilation at the top of your head. But like it could be closed like this too, and it's quite warm when it's closed. And like you can play with different combination of colors for the top layer and the lining layer. So that would be this was really, really fun. That's something interesting. So that was the lace Dulcie hat. And the next one up is Heather Beanie by, it's a slipped off my mind how to pronounce her name. Halina Shemchak. I hope. I hope I didn't pronounce her name. She's originally from Ukraine. Okay. She fled the country when the war started a few years ago. And now she lives in UK with her daughter. Right. But her husband couldn't get out of the country, so they're separated. Not by choice. So, but she designs beautiful, beautiful designs. And if you're interested, I really like you to check out her designs on Ravelry. Let's just go see, where is it? Oh, it's the Zoom bar. There we go. This is her designer page on Ravelry, Halina Shemchak. And some of them are machine knitting, some of them are hand knitting. She's a hand knitter originally and started machine knitting when she moved to UK. But like she's a way ahead of me, and she's just doing this for a few years. And this is her daughter. She always say like her daughter is the inspiration for her design. This Ripple back the show I just finished last month, and it's machine knitting, but it's really beautiful. But many of them are hand knitting patterns, so please do take a look. And Ukrainian artists, they just have this touch I don't have, or like other people don't have. So they're just beautiful, beautiful designs. And she said like originally when she moved to UK, she was knitting or crocheting these hats and everybody wanted them. And she just couldn't make enough to keep everybody happy. So she just decided to write a pattern. So that's how she got decided. So yeah, because her daughter is inspiration. She has a lot of kids pattern as well, right? Yeah, something like this. I think this is what she was doing originally. So yes, please check her out. Her name is Halina Shemchak, and her designs are available on Ravelry. Wait, let's go back to my slide. And so this hat is using a technique called plating. And it looks very complicated, but actually like everybody was just pleasantly surprised how easy it was. Like it just went so much easier than um yes, Monica, that was the lace Dulcie hat. Okay, sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. Okay, so the plating is something very specific to machine knitting. What happened is there's a feeder for the yarn, right? And there are two slots, or like say there's such a thing called plating feeder, and there are two slots, and you can put two different colors in each slot. And when it does that, one color appears on the surface, and another color appears on the purl side. Okay, and I just want to scroll down. So this one, I switched the colors, or like colors in the feeder, in the middle. Um, but they're two same yarn. Like I didn't change the yarns themselves, just switch the position of the yarn. And look how different they look. And this is one of the things machine knitters love. And it's probably very hard to replicate this with hand knitting. I think the best thing you could try is the brioche because you can show one color on one side and the other color on the other side. But it's not exactly the same. So that's very something unique to machine knitting. And I like to play with this more. Okay. So this is, again, Heather Beanie, machine knitting design by Halina Shemchak. Okay, then you probably can tell my knitting is getting much better towards the end of the year. So this one is called the Doris Food by Victoria Salmon. And this is Victoria. She's our favorite teacher at the machine knit community. And she's a very well-known machine knitter. And she recently published this Structural Stitches, a machine knitter's guide to creating form and texture. Interesting book. I love it. I'm reading it now and just like, okay, if you ask me what do you do with it, I don't know. But it's very interesting and I love the ideas. But like sometimes you just have to forget what do I do with it, right? And just play. And that could lead to really good thing. So this is Victoria's book. And then my Doris food started with this box. Okay. Being a dyer, I have boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of leftover and mini skeins like this. I have at least 5 boxes like this. And I started thinking maybe I should do something about it. Ross, don't iron them, okay? It's not for you. Okay.
I'm watching very closely. Where do you keep them?
I'm not telling you. She sometimes
Hmm.
stays at my home, so I really have to keep it secret.
How much would I have to pay Harvey to find out?
No, 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 no. That would be too easy. Anyways, but I like to use them. And like I keep them because otherwise I probably just sell them at the studio as a remnant. But I want to keep them because I know I can have fun. So recently, I just in a mission to use up some of these. So for this project, she had like some colors for her original design. So like purple, light blue, dark blue, yellow, green, and red. Maybe white red. I can't remember. So anyways, I picked some of the colors and I thought, okay, this is probably more than enough. Okay. And then I knit. And when I knit, I just kept the meticulous record of how many grams of that little ball had at the beginning, how many rows did I knit, and then what was row number from this and that, and what's the grams left at the end of the row. That gave me a really good understanding of how many grams I need per row. So like when I choose the next little ball, like I like this should be more than enough. Like this is kind of close. I really have to watch this. So some of the times, according to that, calculation, I thought like I should be enough. But then for this color, this is how much I left at the end of the row. That was so close. But at the same time, it's so satisfying. Like, yay, this ball of the yarn is used up. You probably understand what I mean. So I have really good fun doing that. So this is how it looked when I finished knitting. Is there like millions of ends to weave in? Weaving in ends is a lot easier with machine knitting. That's a good thing compared to hand knitting. Hand knitting is a bit tedious. Machine knitting, basically when you start or finish one color, you wrap that yarn around three needles in a specific way, and that will just take care of it. At first, I was a bit nervous because these are all superwash manual. And like I ask around everybody, like, do you think it's okay with superwash? It's kind of slippery compared to what everybody else's uses. And everybody said, oh, you have to do it and find out. That's the only way. Like, sure enough, that's that's what I say to my students, right? So I did some swatches and I did the three wraps and put the swatch into my laundry basket, let it washed and dried in a tumbler. It was fine. So I'm good. But anyways, like for hand knitting, you probably get really scared looking at something like this, but no problem. So this is the finished hood. I have it here. It looks like this. I could fold this up if I like. Anyways, this will keep me warm. Although sad thing is, we're not having very cold winter this winter. So I haven't had the chance to wear it yet. But it's done and I'm rather proud of it. This is something I'm keeping for myself.
So when I come to visit, where are you keeping it?
It will be out of your sight.
For now.
Okay, and there's another hat. Um, okay, this one is called Liking 8080, Fisherman's Cap by Mary Burhat. Again, Mary Burhat has a designer page on Ravelry, so please check her out. This one is written for machine knitting, but it is available in hand knitting version as well. And this was very interesting. Marie is, I don't know what her nationality, but she was born in France and finished textile program, and she went to Fair Isle, the actual island, to do the internship, I think internship with a knitter. and she just loved it. So she permanently um moved there, and she has her own studio now. And she like if you like to go to Fair Isle, she will host like almost like one-on-one workshop there as well. Okay. And this one has a very interesting, and this is the hat I'm wearing this winter. And interesting thing is, there is, I don't know if you know about the fisherman's cap, but this is a very traditional construction of a fisherman's hat, what they call cap. And there's a rib, okay, 2x2 rib, but it is covered by folding up this bare aisle portion so that you don't see the rib. Okay, isn't it nice? I love it. And see, but like, when you have for the fisherman, they probably want to have something really, really safe, right? They don't want they don't want to worry about their hats just blown off by wind. But this keeps it really, really secure. At the same, it's so pretty because it's all fair isle. And also your ears are so warm because it's double layered. This is something like, the wisdom of time people accumulated, I think. Love the design. And she's okay. So that's Marie. She's in 30s, I believe. And she recently was selected one of the most notable young entrepreneurs in UK. And she went to see King Charles for that ceremony. Good for her. All right. So this one again, I started with all the scraps I had. Those are the scraps from making my ocean blue gradient set. And that's the finished hat. Okay. I have just a few more slides. Let me just go through because I probably don't talk about my machine knitting another year or so. Okay. So this one is the last hat I made last year. That's called Chatty. If you remember Kurt from New Zealand from earlier. Same designer. And this one is knitted sideways. Okay. So I did the crown shaping by short rowing, and I did like one round and I graphed it at the beginning and end. And then I touched the weaving at the end. I actually quite like this construction because you know how the colors run vertically on the hat compared to typical like horizontal stripes on a round knit hat. So I can see myself knitting more of this in the future. Okay, so that's card. There we go. Okay, so that's all the hats I made. And there's like a few more things I like to show. This is interesting thing. I did the test knitting for punch card. Okay. It is designed by Emily. She's tangled.forest on Instagram. Okay, and she is known for this green frog sweater, so you may have seen it. And she's a graphic designer, originally from Belarus, and she's living in Poland now. And she designed these froggies, and she got them made in China. Like they can do a small run for designers. And that's how she got really famous. But then also like she's a machine knitter too. So she released a series of punch card designs. Basically, it's just like stranded colorwork designs. She calls punch card, but you can hand knit those as well. How fun is this? One series is just all the bags, and the other one is more like kind of mysterious forest patterns. She has another one. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so I did the test knit. I loved it. And it's a cowl that goes up to my nose to keep me warm. And again, I haven't really needed it this winter because it hasn't gotten cold enough. But I'm happy with the result. Okay, so here's another one I finished. This is a Groovy by Baker. You probably know the design. It's a hand knit pattern, and I converted it so that it can be knitted on knitting machine. This is as big as it gets on knitting machine without making too much hassle. So I want to kind of modify it so I can knit a little bigger piece. Yeah, just knitting, purling, like changing the stitches from knit to purl is not easy for machine knitting. For hand knitting, stockinette, garter stitch is kind of default, right? If you keep knitting, you get garter stitch. For the machine knitting, the default is stockinette stitch. So to get something purl stitches mixed in is a little bit more work. Okay, so I wanted to tell you one more thing. That's a knitting school online and the kind of resources if you are interested in learning how to knit. And if you have metal bed machine, I highly recommend the knitting school online run by Helen Sharp. She's originally from UK. She worked for a lot of brand names as a knitting coordinator. And she taught at the university as well. And basically, you can take university level course just following her classes on this site. So that's for metal bed machine. And I don't have the slide, but if you have plastic bed machine, they're a bit different beasts. And if you have a plastic bed machine, I would definitely recommend taking classes at Craftsy. So, Craftsy, they're having sale all the time. You can join for a couple bucks a year, and that's probably more than enough to watch it. They actually 3 or 4 basic classes. So watch them, and I watched them like 12, 13 years ago when I was trying to learn, and it did help me. Okay, so this is what I did with the knitting school online. They had the summits knit along. I knitted those. And then this is summit, so it's an afterthought thumb. You put the waste yarn here and then take it out and then pick up the stitches to knit the thumb. And then I thought I kind of like a thumb gusset. So let's see what I can do. So this is the thing I did. And that's it for the last year's progress and see how it goes. Uh, Monica, you couldn't find the button. Okay, I will message you with, I find a link. I try to find link. I think it's available on Ravelry, but I could be wrong. Okay, so that's it for me. Thank you so much.